All right, let's talk Power BI. If you're using it, you probably started with a simple file, maybe an Excel spreadsheet. But today, we're moving past that. We are going to level up your data game by connecting Power BI to the dynamic, live sources that actually power modern business. Let's dive right in.
Does this sound familiar to you? You start with this nice, neat little Excel file, but pretty soon it's just a monster. You've got different versions floating around, it's a total pain to update, and it just can't keep up with what's happening in real time. If you're nodding right now, then yeah, you've outgrown static files. This explainer is definitely for you.
So what's really going on here? Well, it all boils down to one simple but huge difference. You've got static data on one side. That's your single file, basically a snapshot in time. And on the other, you've got dynamic data. Think of it like a live, flowing river of information coming from your company's databases and all those online services. Power BI was built to tap directly into that river.
Here's our game plan for today. We'll start with that first easy step away from your desktop. Then we'll get our hands dirty with the real powerhouses, databases, and online apps. After that, we'll talk about the pro strategies for how you manage that data flow. And finally, we'll tackle those annoying glitches that, let's face it, we all run into from time to time.
Okay, first up, let's tackle that first challenge. How do we get our data off of our own computer and into a setup that's way more streamlined and way more collaborative?
You know, the easiest first step here is just to use cloud file systems. Think about OneDrive for Business. It pretty much feels like your local hard drive, but it's in the cloud, so you can get to it from anywhere. Or you could use SharePoint 365. You can connect to shared folders, or even better, to SharePoint lists, which are super clever because they basically act like simple databases. The main benefit? It's all about sanity, really. It keeps everything, your data, reports, connections, all in one place with proper version control. No more final_report_v2_final_final.
All right, let's take it a level deeper. We're going to connect Power BI straight to the source, right to the heart of the matter, the databases that are actually running your business. This is where things get really, really powerful.
So the whole world of databases really comes in two main flavors. You've got your relational databases, SQL. Think of these as super organized filing cabinets with strict rules, perfect for the kind of structured data you find in your company's ERP or CRM system. Then you have the other side, non-relational or NoSQL. This is kind of like the Wild West. It's flexible, it's scalable, and it's built to handle absolutely massive and sometimes messy datasets.
Now, you might be thinking, oh boy, connecting to a corporate database sounds crazy technical. But honestly, it's usually just a simple four-step dance. You just pick your source, pop in the server and database name, choose your connection mode, and don't worry, we'll circle back to what that means in a minute, and then you authenticate. That's really it. Power BI is designed to make this as painless as possible.
And just so we're all on the same page with NoSQL, what does that even mean? Well, it literally stands for not only SQL. It's just a whole different way of thinking. Instead of those rigid tables we just talked about, it uses more flexible structures. And that's what lets it handle these enormous amounts of data and scale up like crazy. Microsoft's big player in this space is called Cosmos DB. And yep, you guessed it, Power BI connects to it just fine.
Okay, so we've connected to our internal databases. That's awesome. Now, let's turn our attention outwards and plug into that huge, massive ecosystem of online services and apps that are out there.
This is where things get kind of mind-blowing. Power BI has over 100 built-in connectors for services you use every day. We're talking Salesforce, Adobe Analytics, Oracle, and not to mention Microsoft's own stuff like Dynamics 365. The whole point is, your data doesn't live in a bubble, and your analytics tools shouldn't either.
And guess what? The process is going to look really familiar. You just go to Get Data, find Online Services, pick your application, click Connect, and sign in with your account. See? The beauty of it is the consistency. Power BI makes connecting to a super complex enterprise app feel just as simple as connecting to a file.
So we know what we can connect to. But now we get to maybe the most important strategic decision you have to make. It's not just what you connect to, it's how you connect. This is the pro strategy.
This right here is one of the most critical choices you'll make. With import mode, you're basically taking a full copy of the data and packing it inside your Power BI file.
This gives you amazing performance and total control to clean it up. On the flip side, with Direct Query, you leave the data right where it is, and Power BI just sends questions to it live. This means your data is always 100% fresh, and it's essential for massive data sets. So there's a trade-off, right? Control versus freshness.
But what if you're sitting there thinking, I kind of need both? Well, you're in luck. That's exactly what dual mode is for. It lets you have the best of both worlds. You can set some of your data tables to import and others to direct query. Then, Power BI is smart enough to figure out the most efficient way to get you an answer. It's the ultimate flexible option.
Now for the real pro tip. If you're juggling tons of complex data sources, you should absolutely look into Azure Analysis Services. What it does is let you pre-build a perfect model, combining data from all your different spots into one single high-speed package. Some people call it a cube. Power BI then connects to that one perfect source. It's like having a master chef do all your food prep before you start cooking.
All right, let's be real for a minute. Things don't always work perfectly, right? In the real world, you're going to hit some glitches. It happens. But the final skill to master is just knowing that these errors are common and knowing they're usually easy to fix.
I'm going to bet you've seen at least one of these angry-looking error messages pop up. Don't worry, you are not alone. Let's just quickly pull back the curtain and see what they actually mean.
See a timeout expired message? That just means the database was really busy and your request took too long. Data format is not valid? That almost always just means Power BI was expecting to see column headers in the very first row. Missing data file? Simple. The file moved or your permissions changed. And transformation errors? That just means Power BI got a little confused by a data type. See? They sound scary, but the causes are almost always simple.
For instance, let's fix that super common missing data file error. It's ridiculously easy once you know where to look. You just open up the Power Query editor, find the broken query, go over to the Applied Steps window, and click on Source. Then hit that little settings gear to update the file path. Seriously, it's a 30-second fix.
So if you take one thing away from all of this, let it be this. The real magic of Power BI is its standardized process. It's a system designed to give you a manageable, understandable way to connect to a wildly complex world of data. Doesn't matter if it's a tiny file, a giant database, or some fancy online service, the steps feel familiar every single time.
So we've covered the how. We've seen that you can connect Power BI to pretty much anything you can imagine. The technical part, that's just the start. The only real question left is the one you see right here. With all of this power at your fingertips, what story is your data going to tell? Thanks for watching.